Credit score required. Good and fair credit is accepted. They wrote it down.
I knew I had one.
Monthly payment. You can save thousands in interest and fees and pay off your debt in a fraction of the time.
I am licensed candidate.
PDS is also giving our qualified viewers a free debt analysis just for completing the 30-second online assessment.
You cooking?
At www.pdmdebt.com/file.
The meat in there, the deep freezer, the hamburger meat you bought me.
You got it.
I don't know about the other one.
I'll sign up after the payment that doesn't know the fever box. For what?
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with the wood. Wait, where are you getting the wood?
There was a bunch of it in the garage. The vegan tastes delicious.
That's the new hardwood flooring for the kitchen.
Well, I'm sorry. Fever's gonna fever. From now
You
on,
set one up.
let me know anytime you get wood.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Oh, don't worry about it. Once she sees these pins, she'll forget you. You know what? I'll have the boys
Oh,
contact you.
now you talking.
That way when she gets home, you'll have a huge hard-on for her.
You got a link, right?
The Knights Templar were formed in 1118. At least that's
Damn, baby, you can't spend a little $10.
The real story began many years earlier in Constantinople, now Istanbul.
Istanbul with Constantinople.
You the one brought it up?
Istanbul by Constantinople. Been a long time. Yeah, Constantinople by Constantinople. Get the word.
I'm gonna beg you. You would brought it up trying to make it some sloppy jokes. Well, you brought it up.
Tell me that song didn't pop into your head the second you said it.
No, it did, but do you mind if I... The Brothers of the East was a secret order formed in Greece that eventually set up their headquarters in Istanbul. They practiced alchemy, they studied sacred geometry, they performed rites and rituals incorporating astrology, astronomy, music, and mathematics. So when Hugh de Paynes, a French nobleman, met the Brothers of the East, he was excited. De Paynes was technically Catholic, as most of Europe was, but he had family members who were of the Sufi Islamic faith, which is the more mystical side of Islam. De Paynes had been told of this secret group that possessed and was protecting ancient knowledge. He wanted to meet this group and see for himself. At this time in history, Europe was in chaos. Various kingdoms were rising and falling and warring with each other.
Thanks
In the
for
East,
coming.
Muslims and Christians were clashing. The world was tearing itself apart, yet the Brothers of the East possessed a peaceful wisdom. They weren't concerned with modern politics. The brothers had a purpose that was much more important. Once mutual trust was established, the Brothers of the East told the European visitors their story. Well, not their story, the story. It was the story of an ancient civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. The people were highly spiritual and highly advanced. It was a civilization that was free of poverty. Wealth was meaningless. They devised methods of growing crops so that every citizen was fed. They could control the weather. Droughts and famine were impossible. To Hugh de Paynes, this civilization had abilities that sounded like miracles or like sorcery. They could communicate over long distances instantly somehow. They had a way of levitating objects no matter how large or how heavy. They had medicines that could cure any illness, allowing people to live very long lives. War didn't exist. There was such an abundance of resources that anyone can have whatever they wanted. And what these people wanted most was to pursue their own spirituality. And then they were gone. How, de Paynes asked, could a civilization this powerful, who seemed to be able to control nature itself, be suddenly wiped out? The Brothers of the East said in a single day the ground shook, and volcanoes emerged and erupted. Then a giant flood swept over the earth and destroyed everything.
Yeah, I know it.
It was then that Hugh de Paynes and his eight
What?
This episode of the Water Files is brought to you by PBS Debt. The accepted narrative describes the Knights Templar as humble warrior monks protecting Christians on the road to Jerusalem. The Knights were later betrayed and ultimately destroyed. But there is another story within that story. It's a legend filled with murder, mystery, and buried treasure. And it involves a secret powerful enough to rewrite history and change the world. Yes, the Templars were in Jerusalem protecting Christians, but that was their cover story. The real reason they were there was they were looking for something, ancient technology. So as soon as the Knights Templar arrived in the Holy Land, they started digging. And then...
Prepare yourself.
Yeah, I know, Seymour. It's only for a couple of days.
Human, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I need some care.
Battle!
Well, hello, Seymour.
Let's start.
Whatever my name was, Well, I'm sorry. Fever's gonna fever. From now on, you just let me know anytime you get wood.
My wife is home.
I'll not worry about it. You know what? I'll have the boys run extra
Templar were formed in 1102. At least that's when they were officially formed. The real story began many years earlier in Constantinople. The Brothers of the East was a secret order formed in Greece that eventually set up their headquarters in incorporating astrology.
We're winning.
The main was The family members who are the ancient hold of this group in ancient knowledge. He wanted to meet the group and
Detonating
people were highly spiritual and highly advanced. It was a civilization that was free of poverty. Wealth was king. They devised methods of growing crops so that every citizen was fed. They could control the weather. Droughts and famine were impossible. To Hugh Payne's, this civilization had abilities that sounded like miracles or like sorcery. They could communicate over long distances instantly somehow. They had a way of levitating objects no matter how large or how heavy. They had medicine that could cure any illness, allowing people to live very long lives. War didn't exist. There was such an abundance of resources that anyone can have.
You obsessed, man.
Off you go now. Now then.
www.pdsnet.com.
Remember, I put you up on him. Remember that.
You got it.
Remember that.
I'll sign up after the beaver that does fill in the beaver box for what?
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with it. Wait, where are you getting the wood?
There was a bunch of it in the garage. The beaver seeds, delicious.
That's the new hardwood flooring for the kitchen.
Well, I'm sorry.
Beaver's gonna beaver. From now on, you just let me know anytime you get one.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Don't worry about it. When you see these pins, just I just need a teeny, tiny investment, say, 40 G's.
40,000?
Okay, 45.
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on, you'll love this new business. It's called Beaver Box. We ship wood and wood products. For Valentine's Day, the Beavers are doing custom wood-shaped heart pins. You ever see a significant other, family, friends, whoever. Right now, I got a heart on for you.
Did you say you have a heart on?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we want to change the...
Look, people are gonna be buying these wood heart pins like crazy. Everyone you love to have a heart on.
Please stop saying it.
Saying what?
Look, why don't you just have PDS take care of your debt?
Oh, I think you just shimmied your way into today's farm stuff.
I sure did. PDS has options for anyone struggling with a large monthly debt payments. Credit cards, personal loans, collections, medical bills. Everyone with over $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies.
Well, if I had good credit, I wouldn't be bugging you for a loan.
Well, there's no minimum credit score required. Good and fair credit is accepted. They roll your debt into one low monthly payment. You can save thousands in interest and fees and pay off your debt in a fraction of the time.
I am liking the sound of this.
PDS is also giving our qualified viewers a free debt analysis just for completing the 30-second online assessment at www.pdsdebt.com/files.
PDSDEBT.com/files.
You got it.
But it sounds perfect. I'll
Time to show off.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with it. Wait, where are you getting the wood?
There was a bunch of it in the garage. The beaver seeds, delicious.
That's the new hardwood flooring for the kitchen.
Well, I'm sorry. Beaver's gonna beaver. From now on, you just let me know anytime you get one.
Say goodbye.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Don't worry about it. You know what? I'll have to order some extra large things for you to wear. That way the kitchen won't be for it.
Say goodbye. Yes. No escape. That's a spot. Say goodbye.
The real story is began many years earlier when they could communicate over long distances instantly.
Fire style.
They had a way of levitating objects from long. They had networks that could cure any illness because people could live very long lives. Fortunately, there were such an abundance of resources all people wanted most was to pursue their own spirituality. And then, how the Pain's act could a civilization this powerful would seem to be able to control nature itself be suddenly wiped out?
Fire style. Adjusting destroyer mode. Yes.
The brothers in a series day of ground as all corners and rusted, and a giant sludge suddenly appeared and enjoyed everything. It was then that he became the strength. The Pain was an educated man. He knew about Plato and his stories of the island of Atlantis. He thought they were just stories. The brothers said Plato was mostly correct. But Atlantis wasn't just a city, or even just an island. It was a civilization that spanned the globe. And each city was connected using transportation technology that, again, sounded like magic. The story became almost overwhelming. Almost. The brothers said that ancient relics of Atlantis still exist, and they still possess their power. The power to travel great distances, the power of communication, the power to heal, perhaps even the secret to immortality. If ever discovered, these artifacts would be the most powerful and dangerous devices on Earth. Pain said that any kingdom, any country, any religion would kill to have access to this power. The brothers of the East agreed. The technology of Atlantis could not fall into the wrong hands. So Hugh Pain offered an assignment.
Do your best.
Find the ancient artifacts and bring them back to Europe for safekeeping. Pain and the other 8 men immediately agreed and formed a fellowship. But where do they start looking? The brothers said they'll find artifacts under the location of what used to be King Solomon's temple, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The Knights would have to act quickly. The Holy Land was a dangerous place. Jerusalem was taken by Christian crusaders in 1099, but who knows how long they could hold it. And there was another problem. It wasn't just the Knights that knew about the artifacts. Groups of Christians, Jews, Muslims, they were searching too. So when the Knights arrived in the Holy Land in 1120, they set up their headquarters where Solomon's temple once stood. They officially became known as Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and the Temple of Solomon, the Knights Templar. And the Knights played the role of courageous warrior monks, protecting Christians making the long pilgrimage to the Holy Land. But while some Knights Templar guarded Jerusalem, other Knights were digging beneath it. Day and night they dug, until one day they struck gold. Literally. From the east
Time to go.
They promised the Knights Templar that if they dug under the Temple Mount, they would find artifacts that once belonged to the great civilization of Atlantis. The Knights found a large box made of acacia wood and gold. There was no question they had found the legendary part of the tunnel. And then, they found gold. Year after year, Knights Templar took treasure from the Jerusalem. They found the brand, camel tablets, and pages and pages of ancient military wisdom. The learned that there were 10 so they all found things. The Australians opened up the pyramids around the world to create elevated homes. This is similar to the power. If you want to learn how the technology works, you have to understand how it changes. How great pyramids use a power generator. Within the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid is a stone box. Mainstream Egyptology says this box is complicated for a mummy, but no mummy was ever found there. And the rings of the box are kind of small from this box, but the box is the perfect size for a jar. The Knights Templar discovered that the pyramids were built for one specific purpose, to store the Ark. And the Ark, they were built to store mana. In the Bible, mana was a food source and appeared to Israelites in the desert. It's trying to find a place that was like rocks on the ground. So according to Templar tradition, the Israelites had the Atlantean destroyer. They extracted mana from planet animal matter and turned it into a monoatomic black powder. This black powder provides energy. Here's the the mana acted as an electrical superconductor and powers the Ark with the Ark pyramid. The Ark pyramid is where the energy for the driving facilitation. They learned the alchemy secret. Remember the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet gave detailed instructions on extracting mana from animal bones. The mana could then be used for energy or even for healing animals. It does, but if you want to be immortal. No, maybe it can't be expressed enough. Some of these century texts even talk about creating mana from gold. When mana was extracted from gold, it could be used to make objects lighter. The Ark is a box almost 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. It's made of gold. Gold is heavy. The Ark of the Covenant also contained the Ten Commandments, which are carved into stone tablets. Stone is heavy. Just the gold would weigh almost 1,000 pounds. Let's go with that. The weight of stone or the occasion would. Yet it only takes around 2 layers. By the way, many carved Ark.
That's the spot.
The Knights Templar also found very old texts that even predated the civilization of Atlantis. These documents spoke of a non-human race that enslaved humanity thousands of years ago to find gold. Nothing else can come up a lot on this. they promised to end the authority for others, but really the Anunnaki were gods worshipped by the ancient Sumerians, but they were actually aliens from a planet beyond Neptune called Shinobi. The Anunnaki arrived on Earth about 450,000 years ago, searching for wisdom. Specifically, gold. They were trying to find the atmosphere of life on the planet. To find gold is something that settled on Earth and established mining operations. Eventually, the Anunnaki began to by genetically modifying Earth accelerating the evolution of population. I know we're doing iconic. Okay. So the Templars knew about the Anunnaki, how they converted gold into a powder used for healing, levitation, and generating electricity. And it wasn't just the Atlanteans and Israelites that knew about mana. Sumerian texts spoke of an alchemical science called Ra, which came out to know the word rare. The Sumerians did something called Shinobi that was used to help the Anunnaki gods power their flying craft. In Vedic, Hindu, and Jain texts, this substance called the mana, which generally used to power flying craft. By the cultures, we might as well for anyone to extract. Buddhists call it mana. So the word varies slightly in all these cultures. The definition and use are the same. Mana is a potent substance that allows humanity to tap into something very powerful in nature. By the way, the Templar cross, you can find that carved everywhere and every time civilization existed. The cross is all over ancient Egypt. You can even see the cross carved on the ancient Sumerian depictions of the Anunnaki. Templar legend says this is actually the symbol of Atlantis. After Atlantis was destroyed,